Hello guys, it's Susanna here. Well, I'm here with the Just Because quilt that Corrine is doing, and as you saw last time that was in black and white. Well, I've since coloured it, painted it in. Here's the top. I'll explain a little bit more about what's going on there, and then that, and then there's the bottom down here. So I've done stitching just on the top there, and that bit here is sticking out, and I'm sorry for the close-up. Once I get my iPhone I can zoom out a little bit, but at the moment, okay, we'll make it so if I've got that there, I've just got this just so I know where to put things. Okay, so I'll sit down, and oh my goodness, it has been you know, on my poor little fingers. I'm just got a new one of these, and I've you've got to put it on your finger to, you know, stretch it over, and then I've glued it down. So I thought I'll leave it on there so that the glue can set. But I really love how that turned out. It just looks like it was always like that. What happened here, we are in the thing, because it originally just had that you know, and these pieces. I was and I hadn't stitched this down. I was stitching down here and doing the tacking stitch and all that, and I had a cuppa off to my side, cup of coffee, and it was lucky it had the lid on, one of the takeaway ones, and it's only through that little slit in the lid, and it fell over and poured onto here. You can probably just see it here. So that hadn't been stitched down, so I quickly took that off and rinsed it out a little bit, and then I thought I'm gonna just put some lace and you know, sort of cover it up, because it sort of went across there, and it even went into this part. So, but it sort of matches, and you know, rivers are a bit grungy. It's a little bit grungy there, so I thought, oh well. But it took a bit to get dry. Couldn't believe it. So I've been just stitching away, and then I added this piece here. These two pieces are from my pack that I'd put aside from the English fabrics that I'd sold. So at least I was able to use them. And then I got that from Julie Leggett Art. It looks so good there. And then that one piece of French fabric I've got on there, and it gets stuff all over it, but you know, it's coffee dyed now. So that's where I'm at with this piece. I've got bits and pieces that I still would like to stick on. So I've stitched that down, started doing French knots here. I might do tiny little French knots in here. With this, I am probably just going to sort of stitch along there. Maybe, you know, like around the houses, just do a bit of stitching here just to hold it down, because this is like a feature piece which happens to be fabric rather than just, you know, I've used, because you usually put the fabric down then put the feature pieces on, but because it was such a big piece, it's better off just being put down straight away. So I've got these pieces, thinking of putting that there, but I have to wait until the next piece. And then this is one of the pieces that I got from, I'll put that here, from when I went to the Isle of Wight. And it was like a kid's, you know how back in the day, in the Victorian times, they made little sample bits. And so obviously that was a sample on how to do a buttonhole, whatever this stitch is. So I thought, I'm gonna put it there. And I'm going to put a little button. These are the buttons that I had in the stash. I wonder which one that'll work. Whether I go this one or this one. That might work a bit better. Is it going to go through? Probably too big. Maybe it might have to be that one. Yeah. So I'll stitch it down, and then I'll have the button coming out. I think that's really cute. So, I mean, I might be able to find something in my stash that's a little bit better. That might be all right. That's a mother of pearl. This is sort of a faux mother of pearl. So, yeah, little stash of buttons there. So I quite like that, and that's going to go onto the next piece as well. And I could probably do some I might do some, you know, work like put down Hambilly Rice where John and that lived, and so I'll stitch some words and stuff, because this is going to be a memory quilt. And at first I was like, oh, you know, because I've made quilts over the years, how's it going to go? But I really love the idea of just having one piece that I can work on, and once that's completely quilted and embellished, become Wolverine, stuck to my thing. So yeah, then I can stitch it to the other piece. And I found my was it the rotary cutter, so I'll be able to cut all those other bits out. I'd like to get a bit of a format and like draw up something on a grid where I hang on, I'll show you. I'm going to show you some bits and pieces. Okay, I've got a book underneath here that I want to show you as well. We will get to some stitching. Hang on a minute. Gallery. Okay, I'll go right back to when I went to England, and I will actually show you some of the little bits and pieces that I yeah, see this? Don't know if you can see it. Yeah, probably better that way. That's this little thing. That's the village, and as you can see, you know, there's sort of like, I don't know, a little bit that way, bit of a walkway. There's the trees, so that's this. It was so cute. This is maritime art thing, and that's that. And unintentionally I'd painted it blue, and it was blue, and so this, you can just see that peering in there. That's this part here. You see the coffee's gone from there. That was whitish. Okay, what other photos have I got in there? Yeah, that was the first. Here's another part. This is Hamble as well, but in order to get here, you've got to walk through and down, and that will take you to the beach. So, so pretty. So pretty. Here's some of the other little houses. So yeah, so that's why I am doing that first, because that's where I went. And then the next one I'm probably going to do where I went to Burford. Does this look familiar? Where are we? The 3 little bay windows on my my piece. I wonder if it's, I've got, where are we? On my you know, where are we? Quilted piece that I got. Here we go. That's what I based it on. That little the panel. Isn't that cute? So that's when we went to Burford, and so that's my little inspiration that I had for this. So I might actually, because I've still got a bit that I haven't, you know, the one that I'm doing on camera, I might actually grab that piece out and put it in there, because that's where I got the inspiration for these guys. Okay, well, enough yapping. I suppose we better get stuck into it. And I've this bit is hanging on my wall, and I've just got to put it properly. Okay, so as I go, and when I'm going along, I will show you the bits that I'll be doing when I met up with Julie. Here's Julie. She's lovely. This is me and Julie having a cup of tea. So I'll probably do the little houses, and then I'm going to do a little teapot. Hang 10. I'm going to show you some bits and pieces. I went shopping the other day, and like I went to the chiropractor, and then I just felt like I should go to the antique shop. I haven't been there for a while, and she has some good stuff. And I found a box. I don't know if you guys can see that. I hope it's not too glary. And it's Irish linen, but I thought I'm gonna, I found a box there. She had a box there full of stuff of all this type of unfinished embroideries, and it's on this Irish linen. This is one I'm keeping for myself, but I've got, I think, 4 pieces here, like 2 tablecloths and beautiful panels, and I'll quickly show you. I just want to show you because I'm going to put them on my website. Yeah, so I thought I'll keep this one because I thought I'd like to do it up, because it reminds me of when I went to, that's in the next piece, when I went with Julie to have a, you know, we had tea and scones, so I thought I might put that in there. Okay, so, but isn't it beautiful? So I'll probably cut that little piece off, and I might even add some of this in there, and I'm gonna have to maybe paint or whatever, but it's so cute. And then these, it's so tempting to wash because it's quite dirty. You can sort of see it because it come from an antique shop. Someone obviously had dropped them grandmother's or mother's stash off to this lady who managed to purchase this box of stuff from the 1940s and 50s, unfinished, and they even come with threads and all that kind of stuff as well. So the packs are going to come with the threads and everything. So I'm letting you know now. I'll just quickly show you, and then I'm going to do some stitching. But that, oh, so gorgeous. So that'll be on my next piece. So while I've got your attention. See, I mean, these are just some of the bits and pieces, so typical of how they did it back then. This was another piece like my teapot, but it's like a French scene. It doesn't have a chart or anything that comes with it. I showed Corrine, she goes, oh, I haven't seen anything like that. So, and that comes with this beautiful green, and even though it is a little bit on the dirty side, I am not going to wash it because it will wash this out. You've got to stitch it, iron it, and then wash it. So there, that'll be that. This is stunning. I won't get the whole piece in there. It's a tablecloth, Harvest. So I'll look up the colours and have a look at the strands and try and match up the strands and everything that I've got with it. It's quite big. I reckon it could probably go on. I'll have the measurements on there. So that's this little beauty, and on beautiful linen. And then just very, very quickly, this is so pretty. Another gorgeous tablecloth with all the colours and everything on there. I think yes. First row, blah blah blah. I think they tell you how to do the. Don't know if they have the strand numbers, but it's done in the purples. And this is for a doily, but this is actually a tablecloth. So you've got the four corners that have got that on there, so that's a good size as well. And only this is being started. And then here's another gorgeous. I like these ones because they get done. And you do them quickly, which is really good. Beautiful roses, so it'll be like that. You know, and I'll try and match up Semco, so I'll try and match up the colours with that. That's another tablecloth. So I've got 3 tablecloths and 1 doily, which is quite pretty. I think they may have started with the yellow. And that's another one of those Fortley ones that are, that anchor, Clarkson anchor is the thread. So there you go. So once this video is up, I'll be taking photos of these and putting them on my website. I thought I just happened to go in there, be at the right place at the right time, and have these awesome bits and pieces. Now, move this out the way. I've got this book. And that quilt that I'm doing is going to be based, I love this. I think Corrine may have showed you on her channel, but I've been following Ellie Ferguson on Instagram for a while now. She's a Scottish lady, and I thought, oh, I'd love to go to one of her classes. And then when she brought this book out, I mean, a book is, you know, it's so good. So it's sort of like what we're doing, you know, but she's just got little panels. You know, beautiful linen. Looks like French linen. I'll just show you bits and pieces. There's that bit. What else has she got? Oh, it's gorgeous. Stories from the scullery. So she shows you how to put the bits and pieces together. Yeah, here we go. And, you know, like, how sort of the 1950s does that look? It looks really cute. So it's definitely worth getting. She also shows other, like the Mandy Petullo. Love these portraits. these, and I thought if I could find a place that could print off some pictures, I wouldn't mind getting a photo of me and Julie and me and Deborah and me and my friend Helen and my brother and that, and just sort of do this and add it to my piece as well. So yeah, I think that there used to be a place in Ballarat that did it, but the Xerox shop. But this book, I think, is my new favourite. I mean, just look at the layout of how she does it. She shows you how to do things step by step. I mean, look at that. So me, Kath Kidson, I've got this fabric here. So it's nice going through things and seeing bits and pieces that you've got. So, yeah, cloth stories. If you go on to Ali Ferguson on Instagram, you could probably order it through her website, which is in her bio. I just got this at my local, at Gail's Patchwork. When I saw it sitting there, I'm like, yep, that way it saved me in postage. So, yeah, so, okay, well, enough of that yabbering. 16 minutes into it and we haven't stitched a thing. So I'll, there we go, make sure it gets in the camera and start doing a little bit of stitching. It's so nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm mainly stitching, move it over here so I know where I'm at. Where's this thread? Like all the running stitch and the canvas stitch, I'm using this. This is just a really strong thread that I got from a friend, and there's enough of it that I reckon I'd probably do the whole quilt. So I thought something, and I was a bit worried that it would stand out too much on the white, but I just want consistency of the actual canvas stitch to be with the same thread. I've stitched around here and on here, but I haven't stitched on there yet. So it was originally just this fabric, but because I wanted to balance those two. Okay, so I might continue on doing a couple of French knots in this colour. So when I do the camphor stitching, I use, it's a really it's still fine, but it's a really strong thread. And then just for the tacking, I've just got a polyester, you know, in a brown, just so that I can see it. So I've taken out the tacking on that, and it just looks so much nicer when you take it out. So, where are we? Yeah, I've just been really, really fortunate that I've been finding some really good stuff. So, and I've bought bits and pieces. Yeah, I went to this antique shop because I wanted to buy some boxes and, you know, like those old crate boxes so that I can store me fabric in there like what Deborah does. And then I found that box of goodies and I'm like, yeah, right place, right time. So I don't, you know, don't sell everything. I'm like, yeah, that teapot, perfect for my next bit. So I'll have another bit of a painted element in that as well. So I'll do some painting and stitching. Just as well, we've got a month. So at least I know. I'm excited because I know at the end of this year, the end of next year in spring, I'm going to have a finished quilt of something that I'm like, yeah, when I get around to it. Now I'm actually doing it because you're only doing one thing per month. Then once that's done, I grab the other one, start working on that, and then sew those two bits together so that you haven't got this bulk. Okay, now I'll start down here. So what I do often, because it's got the notch in it, see, I give it a pull and it comes through and sits in. It's not, you can't see it there. It's sitting in the wadding. So I'm just going to do a double. Make sure I don't go in the same hole, and then I'm going in between the wadding so that you don't get this massive big line. It isn't the easiest way to do it, but this is how you do French knots. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I've got a new one, but this finger I found, oh my goodness, it was so sore last night. I'm like, oh my goodness, I remember what that's like doing all this stitching. Okay, 1, 2. Maybe not with the when I do these, but when I do the stitching, definitely. So I thought I'll just hold that, give it a pull. Yep. I just thought I wanted to blend it in, not make it so stark. And good way of holding it down. So that 1, 2. Put it next to it, go in through the wadding, hold it. Like doing a normal one, but just a little bit trickier because it's sort of got to travel. Okay, a couple left. Hopefully I'm in camera. Still having trouble seeing. I think my prescription has changed for my when I do this type of work. I use my readers, and my readers, it's almost better off not having any readers. Like that's where it's at. So I think because of the surgery, my prescription has changed a little bit. So I'm going to have to, I'm going back to Melbourne on the 23rd of this month. So I'll just have to see what they say, how it's all going, and then go back to the optometrist and maybe get a new script for my my readers. So I've had these for a while anyway. Yeah, my normal glasses are not too bad. Okay, 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Now, I might finish that off. And then go underneath. Where are we? And through here, because I've sewn around it, around here, and it's being sewn on there, but yeah, but I'm going to just do a small French knot. So changing needles, and then just do 1 French knot. There we go, because it needs to be held down, but I don't want it to be too bulky. I've got to be careful not to go in the same hole and for it to go around. I might actually just go down and over with these. Okay. Oh. Upside down. Okay. Might go through. This is on the side. These ones that I'm doing here probably will end up being cut off, but I've got to do it anyway. There we go. So, yeah. So this is the type of thing that, you know, we are going to be doing. Oh, there is one down here. When you're doing your piece. And I love that once it's all being stitched down, excuse me, do it this way, we can get, you know, stuck into it individually. Oh, these gloves, better off without them. It's just driving me crazy. Do I wear them? Do I not wear them? Like, so I'm still struggling. The struggle is real, people, as Rachel would say. I'm looking forward to December to do the class with Rachel, and Corrine's going to be doing it, and the more I hear, the more it's like all the YouTubers, so I'll be able to meet some of the other YouTubers that I've been watching. Yeah, it'd be good. Actually, I might just go down. I'm knocking everything over. And then go underneath this way. Yeah, and then come up. Probably the easiest way with every one. Those little daisies they are. They're so cute. Let's have a look. Yeah, I am still in camera, just moving everything over. Doesn't make a mess. So cute. Well, what I might do is just put that over there like that, and maybe work on some of this. So I've got to see where I start, because doing French knots is a bit of a pain. Now, so I'm going to grab some of this, and then so do canvas stitch on the other fabric, but when you got something like this where your feature piece is actually the background fabric, you sort of do quilting, like to hold it into place. So as it's, where are we? I'll be starting about there. Yep, okay. This is where I'll have me, hopefully it'll be all right. Like yesterday, I got a Band-Aid. So what I'm going to do here, it's been tacked down. So I'm just going to do like a running stitch, and you are able to grab it. Don't know if that's going to work. I might have to get the Band-Aid out again, because it does get sore. So it's basically a quilting stitch, like a canvas stitch, but you know, like you need to pick it up, and that's why it gets sore, because you really got to get through all the layers. Yeah. And so, and I'll be doing the same. You know, I might do a stitch going all the way across, and then I'll do it around over there, and then I'll probably go around the roofs. You know, I just need to highlight it, but also hold it down. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not to be big. Not, you know, just needs to be held down. And it gives it that really cute little quilted look. But your fingers, see, look at that. That's why I need a thimble or something along that there, and I need it here too, because it helps you, like your pushes. Yeah, and here's my coffee stain piece. So not a bad thing that I'm using this colour, because it'll, you know, that's the colour of the coffee. So see, this is why, like, this is quite a big piece. You know, imagine if you had this big massive quilt in your hand and you had to gather it up, and you've got a really big, you know, lap size quilt, whereas this way you can do your quilting and work while it's not so big. Great. So yep, I got inspired to when I was watching Corrine's piece yesterday where she was continuing on with it. I thought, yeah, I probably should set aside, you know, Friday as my piece, like one day in the week, like what she's done, or you know, yeah, be doing a bit of stuff behind the scenes. Okay, well, I will just sit and yap with you for a little bit until I get to the other side, and then we'll see what time we have. See, I can do this because it's pretty basic stitching, but yeah, I am still struggling. So they weren't kidding when they said it was a long time in getting better. Annoying. Yeah, every now and again you get a bit of a knot. Just pull that. See, you can't really see it. So when I get down to here, I may go downwards. I mean, even though I've tacked it that way, that'll come up. So I might go down, but I can only go down to about there. So maybe I'll just make that line my point where I go down to. And same here, because these have got to go on to the next part. So yeah, you'll be coming along on my journey with me. So this is another way that we can do slow stitching rather than having a journal. I've got a memory quilt. It's going to be great. So that's why I would like to see if I can print some photos onto fabric, because the Paris trip I've actually got in and put in a journal, but this because I actually got more fabrics in England because I spent more time there, and I was lucky enough to you know, have some time. I might grab a little stitch with Deborah from Doll's House Vintage and grab some good fabric where she gets stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I might just do, you know, a bit of a running stitch along here, and it's sort of, I've picked a piece that it could lend itself to, you know, like because it's on there, and then I'll go up, you know, sort of up the stairs, and then I'll go along here, and that will hold that down. So yeah, it's a bit, you got to pick your pieces, and see I'm fighting with the thread. So yeah, I won't do everything, like even though, you know, you're tempted to do all that, but as long as it's being held down. So I will probably just do some of the roofs. I'll go along there, and then I'll go around here, and then pick the roofs, and I think then that should be enough. Okay, so you sort of know where I'm at. Yeah, so if you are interested in getting some of those awesome panels, these bits and pieces, just go onto my website, which is always linked to here, and I'm always putting stuff on there. So I just put stuff on there because I don't want to be constantly, you know, in between my sewing saying, well, you know, go to my website. But it just happens to be, it must be because it's spring. Everyone seems to be getting, you know, rid of their stuff at antique shops and markets and all that, and I've been in the right place at the right time. I've been really lucky. So there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. Okay, well, I will catch you later, and hopefully I'm still working on my September, and then I'm hoping by like maybe Monday or Tuesday have the next part of Botanical Beauties that I'm working on the Black Eyed Susan. So I'm still working on that in the background. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.